All right, hi everybody, it's Abby with Creative at Home, and I am here to do string art with you today. If you've purchased a kit with me, I look forward to doing that, and I'll be going over all of those supplies that you got in that box here soon. And if you aren't, I'll go over them. If you didn't have a kit with me, I'll go over all those supplies as well, and you can make your own stash and get that ready to go. But here is the cute project that we're going to do. State of Ohio. I am a Cincinnati native, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. Obviously this technique is applicable to all different types of things, so it's more about the process than the result. And we'll get started here. I'm going to flip my screen over so you can see what I'm doing. Look forward to crafting with you. Alright, we're going to get started on this string art project. Go over the first step with supplies. I'm going to have a bit of water and your wood board here and your paint that is in your kit. If you don't have a kit, then you can just use some brown and black acrylic paint. We're going to do a faux stain here. If you don't have acrylic paint, you can just use a regular stain. But the first thing I'm going to do is just start mixing a little bit. If you don't have a paint palette, you can just use a shallow cup, but we're going to make sure, we're going to go ahead and make a dark, kind of a dark brown stain. So I'm just adding brown and some black paints, and I'm going to mix it together until I get the shade that I want. And it's more of a dark brown, chocolatey brown color, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. You can see I went up on there, and that's a pretty good color. So what I want to do is then just add water to this to thin it down. Oops. It's going to be okay because we're going to use it. So I'm just going to start stirring this up into the water so that it essentially becomes a stain. And it gets thinned way down. And those drips are why you want it to use something to contain it. So I'm just going to kind of start going through here with the grain and staining this wood with this paint. So this will be the background for our string art project. So that gives it a good, nice walnut finish. And this is just a wood, piece of wood canvas actually. So we go with the grain on here. I'm going to go ahead and do the sides and the back as well, just to make it consistent. And then if you want to, if it's too neat and tidy for you and you want it a little bit more damaged and roughed up, you can just take some sandpaper along the edges when you're finished here and it's dried, and it'll take that and give it that distressed look. Just gonna get all of the edges. Okay. And then we'll flip it over and we'll do the other side here. Alright, I'll do this real quick here. And then we'll let this dry. And come back to the next step. Alright, almost there. I like using acrylic paint versus real stain because it doesn't stain your fingers, and I always have this on hand. I don't always have stain on hand, so get a nice look, and then we'll tighten this up just a little. Okay, and I'm just going to prop this up to dry so that it doesn't get smudged up on there, and then we can decide which side we like better to get our painting started. So see you back when you're all dry. Alright guys, we have our board all stained or faux stained, and it's dry. So now we're going to start nailing in the nails to string the string on. So this kit is for the state of Ohio with a Cincinnati heart. If you live in Columbus or Cleveland or Toledo or Athens, you know, you can move the heart wherever you would like it to be. Just draw it in a different place and follow the instructions for that place. So I've cut my template here out, and I'm going to place it on here with a little bit of tape. So I'm just going to make let me tape down here, 2 little tape loops on the back of this, just so I can place it in the right spot. And so it doesn't shift around to me. So actually I'm going to do 3. I said 2, but we'll do 3. Okay. So we are going to place this right on here, and I'm just going to center it a little bit higher because I'm actually going to put some words on here in a little bit, but I'm going to tape it down just like this, and then I'm going to start nailing. Get my tape out of the way. So I have my nails, and I'm using 1-inch finishing nails, and I'm just going to start by nailing these in here as we go through. So I'm just going to go around, and you want to get them about that's about a little over 1/2 inch. There, a little under a 1/2 inch, I'm sorry. And we'll go ahead and start getting those on there. Okay, I'm just going to go all the way around. And you want them to be all the same height so that when you are stringing your string, it all works. So we can do this together. And you can, whoops, you can come back to me when you've got yours all the way nailed around. Okay? And then you can do your heart. Do the heart all the way around here. And we'll do those a little bit closer. Right? And I'm just using a little tack hammer. Get these in here. Okay. So I'm just going to go all the way around the Ohio, and I'm going to go all the way around this heart. And you can restart the video when you've got that. I'm not going to make you listen to me pound on things as we go through. So get your nails done and come back to me, okay? All right, we're back. I have all of the nails driven in, and now we need to remove the template from behind. So I'm just using a craft knife, and I'm just gonna cut this out. Okay, and just start pulling it out here, and you can just rip it around the nails to get it out of there. And then we'll start wrapping the string. So as I was nailing in, I had a couple nails that felt loose. So make sure you check all your nails, and they're gonna do that. We're gonna wrap this, and we want some tension, but it's not like we're gonna string a guitar or a tennis racket, but we want to make sure that it has the ability to withstand some tension here. So just keep getting this stuff out. Okay. Get those little bits out. I'm gonna pull that out. And then some of my nails, as I was going through, went further through the paper, or the panel, the canvas that I wanted, and we'll just put some felt backing on the back of that when we're finished. So don't worry about that. This is going to be a little tricky to get out of here, so just be patient. There we go. And then you can work on it with some tweezers if you need to. Get it out of there. this last bit out. There we go. And then we're going to start wrapping our string. Okay, so I'm going to do the heart over here with red, but we're going to start the rest of it with white. So we'll start with our white string next. This side's really well attached. Okay. Okay. Alright, so I have my string, and we're going to get it ready. So I'm going to start with my white string here, and I'm going to start over here by this heart, because I think we'll just make that it's the trickiest part, so we'll get that over with. So I'm just going to tie my string, knot it on there. Okay, double knot, of course. Okay, so the first thing I want to do with this string is I'm just going to start wrapping it around each nail and going straight around this border here. Okay, and that'll form kind of just the border line, and then we'll do this again at the end. To give it that outline, and then we'll do the inside. And then you want to get it relatively tight, but you also want to be able to kind of push it down as you go through. I'm going to use something not sharp. Just kind of slide it all the way down, because you'll want to put other things, like we're going to put stuff on top here, so keep sliding it down. So you don't want it to be super tight that it's got a ton of tension on the nails. Okay, just kind of keep going through there. Get that to slide down a little. Okay, and I'm just going around the same side of each nail. And that one's close together, so it's a little tricky. Okay. Oh. So here's where it gets a little bit tricky because they're close together, but you just want to kind of slide it in there. Okay, so we've made it all the way around in that first round, so you can start to see it doing that. So now we're going to start, I'm going to connect that there. So we're going to start crossing over this heart. But I'm going around the heart to the next piece, but I'm not going inside the heart with the string. Okay, so we're going all the way up like this, and then we're gonna keep going on this side of the heart, so this side of the heart, until we get closer to the other piece and it starts fanning out this way, and then we'll grab the rest of the heart. So we're just going over here, and we start to kind of push that down, push these down, get them to be equal. Alright, so as that starts rotating around, you can see how it starts to fan out, and then you can do a couple on the next one. Okay, and then we'll go to the next loop. Oops. There we go. Whoops. Oh. There we go. If you just kind of guide it with your fingers, you can go to the next one here. And keep going around. Actually, I'm going to keep on the old one here. This isn't an exact science, it's more of an art. Using your gut on where your strings are and how they work. Let's kind of get that one in a little tighter. Go to the next one. There we go. And just keep going around. Going around until we get all the way around the state. Wrong one. There we go. Give me some more slack. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of get those done. And then these guys, oops, since it goes down like this, will come up at an angle to start doing these. Okay, get around that corner there, that weird little dip. Just keep going. As you go through here, it looks like we have one more thing. Tricky to get in there, huh? A couple loose. Alright, so now we have it all the way around. Okay. And I'm gonna go around this heart. Keep going here. So then we're going to go all the way around with the white again. And we're going to make it go around 2. So it makes it a little thicker. So I'm going to go, if you watch, I'm going to start on this one. I'm going to go skip this one and go around the next one. And then go around the middle one and back. So skip, around, middle, skip, around, middle. It gives it a nice finished edge. Middle, skip around, middle. Whoops, I messed up my own pattern. It puts the string on both sides. Okay. Okay, just keep going. Oops. And this one on this side. Okay. Corners get a little tricky. Oops. There we go. There we go. It's looking cool, I think. Alright, so go around these curves a little differently. I'm just kind of making sure go around them a lot just so that they can have it on both sides, but not have it sticking out. Like when it's small and it's right here, it's not a critical thing, but some of these you want to, there we go, starting to look cool. And then we'll do the red accent and we'll be all finished with our string art. And that'll just be the finishing feature. And you'll be all done. Cool piece of work. Okay. This gets tricky. flossing your teeth. There we go. And we got one more tricky spot. Oh. There we go. Okay, so I'm ready to end this here. And you can push it down a little. So we've got the heart. Oops, we've got one that came loose here. Oops, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to cut this string here, and here they are. Give myself a long tail so that I can knot this. So I'm going to slip it through here and tie it in a knot. And do that again. So that we're good and knotted. Okay. Alright, and I am also going to just grab a little dab of glue and stick it on that knot and just let it sit up or set up. And cut that tail a little bit and then we can trim it once that glue is dried. Okay, so now we have the red section to do. We're going to do the same thing but just around the heart. Here, so we're going to tie it I'm going to tie it around here. And tie it again. And we're going to do that, just that double piece all the way around here a couple of times to make it look very, oops, okay. There we go, around that tough spot. I don't know how it comes out so easily if it goes in that hard. Oops. So you can see the fun starting to come with that accent. Okay, just keep running it around that heart. Until it's red enough for you. Okay, and then we're going to tie it off just like we did with the white and add that little dot of glue. Okay, so we'll keep going there. I'm going to go down around. Okay, so I'm going to go around a couple more times so that it is visible. It's a little bit more visible from the side, but I want to make sure that it's visible from the front as well. And get that tied off, and then we'll do the last couple of steps. We'll be all set. Alright, we're back. I'm finished with the heart section of this string art, and we have the final few steps to do here. Alright, so I'm going to add a couple of things. Forgot one piece there. I'm going to put some felt on the back of this. It's because I poked through a few sections of this wood palette or canvas doing that, and then I have a cute little saying that we're going to put on the front here. So as part of your kit, you have this sticky, it's a sticky velvet really. So we're just gonna peel the back off of it, and I'm going to place this right on this. Okay, and I'm gonna rub it across the back to keep those nails from scraping you. And you could use a craft knife. I have a rotary cutter here to just cut the edges off. And okay, so we have that step taken care of, and you can see it adds just a really nice finish to the back of this piece. And the last thing we're going to do here is you have a vinyl transfer, and there's a piece of, there is a piece of tape with blocks on the front. That's going to be the front. And we're going to peel the backing off of this vinyl here. And the tape will keep it all in the correct spot as you flip it over. If it's gonna stick. So if it's not sticking, you just kind of rub it on really well. And then it gets peeled off here. This is probably the most challenging part here, is getting it off the paper. Okay. And get the O. Get the M. Oops. Okay. Alright, and then there's an E. Okay, boy, that was crazy. And then there's this little period, and it just goes right on here. Okay, so here is what we're going to be transferring in. I'm going to get that M a little straighter here. On this thing before we transfer it. Okay. There we go. Alright, so then we're going to drop this in and center it on here. And if we're happy with it there, you can use a ruler and just kind of scratch it on to the wood. And then when you peel off the tape, it will be stuck onto the wood, this. So you just go letter by letter. And peel it up. And I'm still okay. Scratching that all the way across. Transferred. And there we go. So that is our string art project. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a kind of a different way of being creative and crafty without having to paint or things like that. You get to use a hammer and nails and all that stuff. So if you would like to do more crafts with me, or interested in any live events or things like that that I have, feel free to follow me on Creative at Home Art on Instagram and Facebook, and you can check out my website as well at creativeathomeart.com, and hope to work with you guys again soon. All right, thanks so much for crafting with me.